Creating dashboards in Connect. This video will show you how to create a new dashboard so you can easily view the exact information you need in Conest Connect. This is particularly helpful when users need to quickly create a report or presentation. Maybe we want to view the estimator performance, or job information, or maybe we want to view the data from multiple tiles. Regardless, as you learn to create different dashboards, remember that if you alter any settings in your particular instance of Connect, it could affect the views for other users from your team as well. Before we get into it, a final note. When following these steps, you will never be changing the original tiles shown by default in Connect. We are just creating new tiles via this method. Okay. In this example, management wants to have a quarterly meeting with all estimators to show what jobs we're winning and losing as a group, as well as the job types for each estimator. To do this, we will create our own dashboard to only show this information. Starting from the left sidebar, let's click Conest Connect. Then we'll click the gear icon located just to the upper right of that to show more options. Then click the file option that appeared just to the left of that. From here, we want to add an item. An item in Connect is what will eventually become a dashboard after we finish setting things up. Okay, with that said, we'll click the Add Item option. The new item will appear below the other left sidebar items, and that's where we will give the item a new name. We'll name it Estimator Quarterly Meeting, and then press Enter. If we then move the mouse over to the middle of the screen, we see a little widget that says App ID, and we also see a button to the right of that, showing 3 little dots. It's here where we can establish some settings for our new dashboard app. So let's click the 3 dots. The App Explorer window appears. We'll scroll down the list of apps and then click System. Several app options appear. We want the dashboard app. Rather than looking through every item shown here, let's filter using the field above and type in the word Dash. You'll now notice that we see all the apps pertaining to the search term Dash. In this case, there are 2 apps available. We're going to single click on the one named Dashboard Dash to select it. Then we'll click the Add button that appears. Okay, let's save this view. If we look to the upper right of the main screen, we'll see the Save button. Click Save. Then we want to move to the left and deselect the gear icon, which will hide our new Dashboard's App Settings widget. Now we can see our dashboard's main screen in blue. Let's create some tiles next. Tiles are helpful tools in Connect. They're meant to display specific sets of data and information as set by the user. To create our first tile, let's go to the upper right corner of the dashboard screen. Here we have a button with 3 little lines, known as the hamburger. Let's single click it. A small widget appears with more options. Let's click on the Add a Tile button. We see that a new tile box has been created. Great! Now remember, the goal here is to create something that we can drill down into to get more information, so we want to add some content. To add content to this tile box, we click the gear icon inside of the new tile. Then the tile settings window appears in the middle of the screen. First, we want to select a menu item. To do that, let's click the magnifying glass icon from that option to do a search. Then click the arrow to expand the Conest Connect option. Next, we're going to click the arrow to expand the dashboard content option. We see a typical folder structure. We want to find and select the Bid Status Estimator View option. Let's scroll down and click to highlight it, and then click OK. Back in the Tile Settings window, we'll click the View Options dropdown, scroll down, and then select the Status by Lead Estimator Bar 2 option with a single click. This variation of the Status by Lead Estimator view displays the data in a bar graph format. Back in the Settings window, we'll set the size for our tile. Let's select Large from the dropdown, and then click OK. We can now see that those changes have populated the tile with information for us. Now if we single click the hamburger button again, we can see that this tile has been saved and is active. Okay, great. Now let's drill down on this tile with a double click. As you can see, it takes us directly to the correct Bid Status Estimator view information. We can see the status as well as our won loss. Let's close the screen by clicking the X. Let's create a second tile for our dashboard so we can look at estimator performance. To start, we'll go back to the upper right side of the screen and click the hamburger icon again. Then click the Add a Tile button. We can see that it's given us a new tile. In this new tile box, we're going to click on the gear icon to access tile settings. The settings window appears. For the menu item, we're going to select the magnifying glass icon again so that we can find what we want. Click on Conest Connect. Then we'll click on Dashboard Content to expand it. We'll scroll down until we find Estimator Performance View. We'll single-click that option and then click OK. For the view, we're going to click the drop-down and choose Estimator Status Group. For the size, we'll click the drop-down and select Large, and then click OK. We'll notice that some of the tile's information is hidden from view. If the tile needs to be a bit wider, we simply click and drag the side of it until we can see all the information that we need to see. To exit the tile settings, we go back over to the upper right and click the hamburger button. To ensure that the tile is doing what we want, we can double-click the tile to drill down. A window appears and we can see that we are viewing the Estimator Performance view. Great! Click the X in the upper right corner to close this window. If we want others to have access to this custom dashboard, we must go to the left sidebar and click the gear icon again to bring up the dashboard settings. Then we'll go to the left and click File, and then Refresh. To get back to the dashboard, we'll first click to deselect the gear icon, which returns us to the dashboard's main screen, showing our tiles. We can also now see that the Estimator Quarterly Meeting Dashboard option in the left sidebar has an icon next to it, signifying that it has been saved correctly. Now this dashboard will reappear in the left sidebar whenever you log back into Connect. Thanks for watching this Conest tip video. Please like and subscribe to our channel to get more tips like this from Conest Software Systems.